I don't know why you didn't turn it back on.
Did you turn the kitchen light on too? We had no light on, y'all. Welcome to another.
This was not enough.
It don't matter. Another Woods Report. All right. So lots going on. Some days I say a lot going on, and some days I don't.
Today is Tuesday, right?
Today is Tuesday.
Okay, yesterday was Memorial Day.
Yeah, okay. We actually had a show. See, you didn't think we was gonna be able to have a show on Memorial?
No, I was saying to her, I said on holidays we still do stuff on holidays. The actual holiday, like Christmas, Thanksgiving.
If we can, if not, no, I'm not going to.
People sitting at their tables.
It's not a job. If we doing something,
I know.
We just won't be doing nothing. They just won't see us on the day.
But you saying
they don't even have to be a holiday.
At least a few minutes, right?
Huh?
At least a few minutes.
At least
if the Thanksgiving like greeting.
Right. If that still may be like I don't feel like coming on.
Just back a little.
Yeah, it's up to you. It's up to you. I mean, depending on So we went to see Little Mermaid today. Mm-hmm. So spoiler alert. Mm-hmm. If you're the type of person that you don't want to know what happens, I'll let you know before we start talking about the Little Mermaid.
I said if it's the basic storyline, but if there's
they added. And then we'll talk about some of the criticism, the critiques that Little Mermaid was getting. A lot of critiques going on. Beyonce's daughter, Blue Ivy, critique. So we'll start off talking about Blue Ivy and Beyonce, her Renaissance tour.
Oh, so we were all asking when was she going to include her kids?
Yeah,
in her
we got the
tours. Debt
ceiling that the Democrats and the Republicans finally came together, and decided on. I don't know how to get rid of that, but I don't know. The debt ceiling, just go down. Yeah, just leave that like that. And what else do we got? Flo Rida, T.I. and Tiny. Juneteenth. There's some stuff going on with Juneteenth. So it's a lot of stuff
and
going
Kamala,
on.
Vice President of
Kamala
update
Harris.
with her.
See how I forget about her? That's why she's so.
That's just sad.
She's so not. I don't care about her. That tell you how much I don't think about her. I don't care about her. See how much I don't care about her.
Ma, you watched The View today, didn't you? Okay.
That show you how much I don't care about her. Is that I literally you mentioned three times.
That's not right.
Well, what do
I get what you're saying. She's not. It's another.
She's not memorable.
It's not a word for. We can't find the word for it.
And
we don't not care because we do care.
She's forgettable to me.
Yeah, you don't think about her when you talk about things that's going on in our country. Yeah. She's a very. We've talked about Pence more than
at least the mega people made Pence exciting.
Yeah, even though he is not exciting. Person.
Right.
But go ahead.
All right. See, I hate you can't see her behind the thing, but I guess we can go up a little bit. There we go. Beyonce, you leave it? No, because I had it right.
Oh, I was pushing it more over there too. You can see Ivy.
I was good. Beyonce brings Blue Ivy out during her Renaissance tour, and she starts to dance.
Her daughter. I asked you then. You said you didn't.
I don't know how old her. It says here 11-year-old.
Okay.
And she has a whole choreographed scene with her. So she comes out, she does choreography, and she's getting older.
11,
and people were being very negative about how she was dancing.
Okay.
They was talking about how she was stiff.
Did you see the video?
Yeah, you can see the video and stuff.
Okay.
They was just saying how she was stiff and she can't dance and her mom could dance and just comparing her. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine being compared to your mom if she's Beyonce?
No, I can. They talked about that on The View. They talked about there was an actual topic along the lines of kids in their parents' shadow as either actor, singer, athlete. It's a lot of pressure on them. You can't even
go out and have fun and dance with your mom without everybody coming and critiquing. Can you imagine when we was growing up if millions of people critiqued every time you stood out or danced or something?
Think about it though. On the other side of that, it's not nice.
People mess with people's kids?
But I don't think people think about it that way. But I think not to condone criticism for children, because you do want to leave kids alone. If the child is older, they're definitely going to get critiqued. Over 20, over 18, 20, 21.
You mean grown?
Grown, that's what I mean. Over 18.
Okay.
They're
grown is different.
That's what I'm saying. They're definitely going to get critiqued. But under 18,
underage,
people have not been nice.
No.
And even remember when
the Bush's girls,
their girls, but their girls was over 18, were they?
No, they was in high. They was in.
They tried to do it with Obama's daughters.
Them too,
and Clinton's daughter.
Everybody.
She was her
Chelsea
looks,
really
Chelsea's
got it.
looks and everything. And Chelsea even said that when she was on The View. She said it comes with the territory. But so it's almost like she needs to sit down with Ivy.
She has.
Kardashians need to sit down with their kids and say, "It's coming."
Yeah.
Don't take it personal.
I'm sure they have.
Yeah.
But the bottom line
it's going to be out there.
It's still wrong. But anyway, the BeyHive, they call them the BeyHive. I've been calling them the BeyHive. Like it's still B.
Like that show you said.
The BeyHive, yes. They come into they lashing out at the haters. Mm-hmm. It says 11-year-old Blue Ivy Carter is younger than many of the other well-known babies, because remember they got other kids. Mm-hmm. Is more impressive than some celebrity children who are triple her age. Earlier this year, the young girl joined Beyonce on stage in Paris, where she previously conceived during the Renaissance tour. She appeared during My Power and managed to keep up the gaggle of dancers around her, as well as her mother, who was beaming with pride at the sight of Blue Ivy being cheered on by 80,000 fans. So not only did she come out there and dance, she's dancing with professional dancers. Mm-hmm. Professional dancers and her mom.
Because I'm sure Beyonce gets the best.
So no matter how pleased the Carters were with their eldest daughter's work, miserable haters on the internet still found time to criticize her. For the most part, people appeared to take issue with Blue Ivy, saying she was stiff while dancing. Dear Black women, Blue Ivy is 11 years old, performing for the first time in front of 80,000 people. One Twitter user wrote amid all the negative discourse. Do you remember, because Mom would bring this story up every single time with me. I can perform in front of anybody right now. When I was a kid, I kept saying how I was going to do my Easter speech. Mm-hmm. You see how you bring that up all the time, Mom?
You had to been 5.
I walked around the house. Mm-hmm. I did it all kind of ways. What are you looking at me so hard for? I didn't come to stay. I just came to tell you that this is Easter Day.
Real simple.
Hey, Lenore, what if I do it this way? Hey, what are you looking at me so hard for? Or, what are you looking at me so hard for? Or, what are you looking at me so hard for?
Practicing different ways.
All kind of ways.
That was very creative to even think you should.
My mother said I would put my hand on my hip.
Isn't that creative as a child that you would even think of, there's different ways I can say this?
I'll put my hand on my hip. How does it sound if I do, what are you thinking of me so hard? Or is that too much?
No, should I stand to the side?
And say, what are you thinking of me so hard for?
I think you even said, can I sing it?
What are you thinking of me so hard for? Okay. All kind of ways.
Until the day.
Then I got up on stage.
Drum roll.
And I went,
remember the Cindy Brady show? When she was on that team they was going against each other and that light went on the air and she just stared at the light and Bobby laughed at her. I didn't even say anything. I got scared.
When you walk out on stage for the first time and everybody's looking at you, some kids they can do it. They don't have no problems. Yeah. But for me, it was, I don't know. I was like a deer caught in the headlights. I was focused on the people looking. And I became paralyzed.
But she wasn't afraid. She went out.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So for her to get out on stage and dance in front of 80,000 people.
That's bold right there.
She should be applauded for just doing that.
So did you see her dance?
Yeah.
What you think?
She's dancing. I don't think dancing is like the number one thing she's going to do.
Okay.
Because they kept comparing her to like Little Bow Wow's daughter, and they dance. Like those are they dance all the time.
Yeah.
I don't think Blue Ivy is trying to dance for the rest of her life.
Surprised.
I think she just wanted to come out on stage and do something with her mom.
Thank you. And I'm surprised because remember one of the Super Bowls? Was it J-Lo brought her daughter out with her?
Oh, you right. And she wasn't doing a lot.
She did some moves.
Did she do a lot? Oh, okay.
I didn't see.
She did move.
Blue Ivy. So I don't know.
They comparing them to like little kid dancers.
No. I want to say, reason why I'm saying this is that when she brought her daughter out, her daughter was doing moves.
I think that was,
and you were like, oh, wow, she moving with her mom.
I think they was trying to compare her with Blue Ivy. And they was like, other people brought their daughters out and they wasn't.
But I'm surprised that she said yes to that.
But being
a perfectionist, like Michael Jackson kind of thing.
But Michael would bring his kids out even if they couldn't dance. But if he wasn't terrified putting a mask on them and stuff. But the thing that I find with Beyonce, if it's true, she showed the backstage type of, not backstage, the
mommy
moment, the day of her performances, what she does.
Oh, okay, up to that moment.
So she shows she gets up, she takes care of her kids because her kids are with her, I guess, on the road.
Okay.
And she eats, whatever her breakfast or lunch is. She wakes up late, and then she rehearses a little bit, and then she goes on stage. That's her. And she said she tries to, towards the end, I guess, she wants to see the culture wherever she's at. So she tries to work that into her schedule where she can go to a museum. She says she loves museums. So wherever she is, she'll try to go to a museum or out of the country or something. She probably went to the whatever, the one in Paris that we went to.
The tower?
No, the one with the Mona Lisa.
Oh, okay. That museum, whatever that is. Okay.
So she goes to museums wherever she is. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking when she said that, part of her spending time with her daughter is probably that choreography. Think about it. Her daughter is doing the same choreography she's doing. So they probably rehearse together. They probably dance together. Mm-hmm. And that's her time that she gets to spend with Blue Ivy. So I think for her, it was more of a proud mommy moment. Mm-hmm. Not so much my daughter's going to come out on stage and show everybody that she can dance. More like that, I think.
Did she build her up too when she was on stage?
No, she just came out. She popped out.
Because when I saw Good Morning America, when Whitney Houston was alive, mm-hmm. and she had her daughter with her, and they did those outdoor concerts at that time. Every Friday it would be some outdoor in the park in the New York, mm-hmm. Times Square, mm-hmm. and that's when her voice was really raspy. It was like she was
Whitney Houston,
during her last day. So she presented her daughter, build her up. This is my daughter, whole sister. She started singing, and I went like,
how is that any different than...
she can't sing.
But how is that any different
than... But she built her up, too.
How is that any different than grown people doing that? We just went to a concert, I'm not going to say the name, where it was a woman, a very prestigious woman, and she built up her daughter, who came out, and her daughter couldn't sing. You know who I'm talking about. We were sitting there going... So we gotta, while she changes her outfit, we gotta sit here and listen to her daughter.
Oh, it just hit me who you talking about. And she's grown.
And
so we can't actually talk about her, but she's a grown woman.
But let me tell you, I bet you she don't give two rats what you think. That's my daughter, and she want to sing.
And the mom came out and said, "Oh, did you enjoy her?" The audience,
thank you. So it doesn't matter.
Of us just sat there and went.
And it's a grown woman.
So glad she's
it doesn't matter.
Now.
So mother bears, women will rip you apart about their kids.
I know.
They will swear up and down their kids can sing or talented, and you go see them, and they say, "How is my child?"
Okay,
and you go,
for some reason, you guys, I'm between this. Okay, don't hate me.
But kids is different. Are you saying adult or kids? Kids or adults?
Okay. I want to say both.
No, I don't. I disagree.
Here's the thing.
Kids are off limits.
Sincerely.
Don't put them on stage.
That's
not right. Okay, so somebody...
Because you're putting them out there to even be criticized and ridiculed.
But what if they're like me? Where I was saying I told y'all how I was going to do the speech. And I was very talented.
We had to coach you as you were standing there, Kim. What are you looking at?
But when the lights hit me, I was different. So what if it's that? What if they're good in practice?
No, that's different. That's different.
But how do we know how she is in practice?
Here's the reason why I feel it's different, y'all. Listening. When you're preparing for those little once a year Easter speeches, we used to call them, you're preparing for an actual event that's going to take place in church.
Yeah.
So that's for a specific event.
Okay, so
that's different than a 80,000 stadium, and you are a number one hit, one name, and you bring your child out. They better be good.
Okay, well, my thing
that's all I'm saying.
So I'll put onus on both then. I'll do onus on both.
Okay.
But the child has nothing to do with it. She doesn't know that 80,000 people are going to do something.
But you putting her out there.
But I'm saying I put the onus on both.
Okay.
If I agree in a certain extent, if you don't want your child to be criticized, don't put them out there.
Yeah.
Some celebrities don't show their kids.
I know.
You don't even know what their kids look like.
So talented, we won't know that.
Or you don't know what they look like.
But you know what?
Okay, perfect example.
Okay.
Rihanna didn't want to show her child when she first had him. Uh-huh. When she showed him, people were saying he wasn't good looking. I thought he was a cute little boy. I thought he was cute. But people are so critical.
If you put your child out there, be ready.
I thought Rihanna's son is cute.
Okay.
Have you seen him?
I think you showed me a little picture of him. He had a big head, don't he?
He has. Well, she has a big head. So, of course, he's going to have a big head.
That's the first thing I saw.
And his father, A$AP, has a big head.
Yes.
The boy didn't have a chance.
He's doomed.
But he's cute.
He is cute, though.
But people kept saying he wasn't cute.
But think about it this way. What if he wasn't cute? What if he was really not a cute baby?
You know what?
I always just smile and say,
always told people this. People
baby.
used to talk about me because they used to say that I would say whether a baby was good looking or not.
Yes.
And I said, they said, just because you say judge babies, if you have a child, your child's gonna be ugly. And what did I say?
He's gonna be
the
sharpest, ugly baby out there.
He'll
have a bow tie and a nice suit.
My child,
look at Kim's boy. That's a sharp suit. That's all you can say. Because he won't.
And his personality will be so charming.
Tappa. Oh my God, he just makes me laugh.
They would say,
but he's not that cute.
It doesn't matter. They would say her baby is not that cute, but that baby is charming.
Yeah,
he's funny and he's a nice baby.
But when you understand, if you were an entertainer, you put him out there.
If you put him out there,
judged. Yeah. There's ugly people in this world. They don't care what age those kids are. They will talk about
and that's wrong.
It is.
Well, Beyonce sent a nice little letter. It says Beyonce pens a sweet message to Blue Ivy after her mother and daughter performance in Paris. The mother of three shared a message to her firstborn on Monday. Within her short and sweet statement, Beyonce noted she's so proud and thankful to be Blue Ivy's mother. Isn't that nice?
What do you do?
You bring us so much joy, my sweet angel. Of course, this message is accompanied by footage of Blue Ivy doing her thing outside, dancing with her mom. I think that she did that. No, she probably would have did it anyway, but I think she purposely did it publicly because her daughter was getting so much backlash. She wanted to say, I love you. I'm proud. I'm proud to be your mom.
Regardless how ugly people
and you killed it. You did the choreography the way you learned it. Nobody's asking her to be a dancer. You did it the way you learned it, and I love you. And then it said her Tina, her grandmother wrote something else. Her grandmother wrote something too.
And see, that's what I was saying. In my opinion, that all could have been avoided.
Last night, I saw my beautiful grandbaby dance in front of almost 70,000 people. She killed it and was as cool as a cucumber. Blue Ivy Carter, no fear.
Remember when we, before Ricky Smiley, his son that passed away?
Yeah.
He had to do a comedy show.
Ricky was tough on his son.
Yeah, he was. And he was nervous about it because he's following in his dad's footsteps as a comedian.
Yeah.
So I don't know, for me, if they're young, for some reason, if they're older, they'll deal with it. They grown.
Yeah.
They can deal with criticism. They can do better if they not sound as good as their mom or dad.
Yeah.
Under a certain age, it's up to the parent.
Yeah.
You got to really know if your child is there.
But what if they do what I did? You think they good, and then when they get out in front of everybody, they don't do nothing.
I think
that's not fair.
See, the thing this is what I would have said personally, and this is how I am, I guess, as a person. I would say, you guys receive my daughter. This is her first time, y'all. She's nervous. I would have built something around it where people would go, well, she did say she's nervous. Or she did say she's
people
a little
would still
scared.
criticize.
I don't care.
Yeah,
it would be less criticism because they figure, oh, she'd be nice to let her daughter come on stage with her. But she's kind of giving us disclaimers. She's not like me. Y'all.
Or what about this? So there's a lot of different circumstances.
I know.
The one, like I said, where you have a talented kid like me, and then when I get in front of the audience, I clam up. Or your child is not talented. And like you said, you just want them to have fun and whatever.
Be on stage with me.
Or there's parents who actually think their children are talented. You've seen movies where people brought their kids in to act or sing, and everybody is like, sing, Melody. And Melody sing, and you go, everything. Are we hearing the same thing?
Didn't you say on American Idol, Aretha Franklin's niece or something?
Her grandchild
didn't do well.
Or something, I don't know.
You said that they auditioned for American Idol, and you think as Aretha Franklin's granddaughter.
Right.
See, that's a lot of pressure on
That's a lot of pressure. So that's what I'm saying. You Beyonce's daughter?
And you don't have your moves smooth?
That's not right.
Like J-Lo's kid?
That's not right. Well, J-Lo is a choreographer.
She made sure her daughter had her steps together.
Beyonce's not a choreographer.
But she dances so well.
But she's not a choreographer.
She should have had her choreographer make sure that
how do you know she didn't do what I did?
Well,
She's good behind the scenes.
I didn't see it.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Was she okay?
She was fine.
See, okay.
She just wasn't Beyonce.
Well, no. We don't expect them to be like their parents.
Exactly.
If they are,
but they was comparing her. Yeah, they was comparing her to Beyonce.
Yeah, I mean, comparing it to the parents, she's only 11.
Yeah.
Okay. How was Beyonce dancing at 11? Tippa tappa tappa. She was doing those little shows in the house.
Yeah,
she wasn't all that.
And nobody says Beyonce. Yeah, sorry, BeyHive, but Beyonce is not like the best. Beyonce moves her hair.
She wasn't gifted like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, she knows that. She knows she's not.
Michael Jackson was like
Beyonce knows she not Chris Brown
at 5 years old.
Yeah, she know that. She got Tiana Taylor.
Okay.
She knows what to work with what she got.
Okay,
so that's why she moves her hair and all that stuff, because that makes you feel like the person is doing
and
something.
Her fans, BeyHives.
Yeah.
BeyHives.
Yeah.
Every fan following is going to protect the person.
Yeah.
Anything to deal with them.
All right. So let's read what people said. Layla says, hey, ladies. Hey, Layla. Emerald says, good day, ladies. I remember my first play and I was terrible. Thank you, Emerald. That's how I was. Mm-hmm. Wendy says, hello, gals.
Hello.
She says hi to everybody. Layla says, right, Blue is her own world, shining bright like her mom. Wendy says her daughter, her business, get a freaking life. Layla says, the great Whitney Houston, when you brought up Whitney Houston.
Yes.
Wendy says, only a mother knows their child. Everyone else is guessing. Emerald says, hey, Wendy. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. Emerald says, I agree with you, Wendy. People got so much to say and their children are all kinds of jacked up. Wendy says he's adorable. She must be talking about Rihanna's little baby.
Oh, yeah.
He's cute.
With the big head.
He's cute, though. Emerald says, don't say ugly baby. Say that they are precious or whatever.
They are precious. Even if they look like monkeys.
Wendy says there is a bond between a mother and child and no one else can invade it. Yeah, mama bears will rip you apart. Mm-hmm. Emerald says people's children are completely off limits to me. And Wendy says people with no life always try to pick apart everybody else. Mm-hmm. There's a bond between a mother and a child and nobody else can fully comprehend. Lila's agreeing and Wendy says it's so pathetic. And Mean Shay says, good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
Hello, Mean Shay.
So all I just have to say is just parents need to understand we have an ugly world out there. Yeah. So your kid will, if you open them to that ugly world, hopefully they got thick skin.
Yeah. And
not even care. They just doing their thing because they with their family, mom.
Colin Thompson says, good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
Colleen.
All
right, y'all.
Okay.
So that's Beyonce. Everybody leave Blue Ivy alone. Let her do what she wants to do. She'll get better if she's gonna do this on tour. She'll keep coming out there and she'll get better and better as she does it. I have sympathy for her because I bombed the first time I got on stage, and I just knew I was gonna do good, and I did.
I did too when I first sang in a group.
Oh, you
forgot
did?
the words. When I was in college, that's the first group I sang in.
And you forgot the words?
I forgot the words.
How'd you get out of it?
I just kind of sat there.
Nobody sung for you?
The group was singing, and I just forgot the words, so I just.
But that wasn't your first time singing in college. You sung in church.
That's choir. You can get away with a choir.
You sang in the choir.
I sang a lead, and I sang in the choir. This is an ensemble. This is 6 of us.
Oh, that's
this
right.
Is 6 of us with 5-part harmony.
Yeah.
It's 2 altos. I sing the second alto, and they sing the tenor, and I'm sitting there going, "This is my note."
Yeah. Oh, drop my little phone. Go ahead, keep going.
What's my note? So I was nervous about that, and that was my very first concert outdoors on the campus.
Sorry, TikTok. Go ahead.
And I had to get through that, and the leader of the group was trying to encourage me, continue on. The more you do it, the more you do it, you get comfortable. You get comfortable with crowds. There have been times when I would lead praise and worship, y'all, at church.
I bet you shook the table.
No.
That's why my phone.
Oh, I don't know. I would lead praise and worship at church. Forget the words because I'm getting older. A praise song that everybody pretty much knew. And we had the words behind us on, you know how some churches have the big old display of the words? I got to where I didn't remember the words, and I said, "Y'all know the words," and I pointed at the screen.
You should have pretended like this lady.
Sing with me.
Lady on TikTok was pretending like she was happy, getting happy. You know how they say getting happy in church, and she was doing this. And and then her wig fell off.
Touching the table.
That's what I said.
Oh, maybe it's the bottom.
Her wig fell off, and she pretended like she passed out under the Holy Ghost. You should have did that while you were singing.
One of my pieces came off too.
You should have did that. You should have been singing praise and worship. Too hard. And it fell off while you were singing?
It fell off while we were on stage. It was a little puff.
Did you put it back?
I let it go.
In the middle of singing?
No, we were like a high praise. Maybe some people just dancing and just praising God. And the hair fell off. It wasn't tight enough.
I love watching these things on TikTok where the pastor falls or something, and they'll keep trying to preach. Just acknowledge it for goodness sake.
Turn it back and go.
Why can't they just acknowledge it?
I don't even know.
If I was preaching and I fail, I would say, "Y'all, we fall down, but we get up," or something. And then keep preaching.
I told Kim quickly before we move on.
Why you acting like you didn't fall?
I was watching a documentary of Ella Fitzgerald. That's a bad woman. Boy.
Yeah.
When it comes to scatting, I have not heard anybody scat like her.
Yeah, Ella Fitzgerald.
And she was in a concert in Germany somewhere, and she forgot the words, and she was singing, "I forgot the words to this song, but you guys can sing along.
Just keep singing.
I don't remember what I used to say, but it'll come along." I was like, "Go ahead, Ella.
That's
making up your own words."
See, that's somebody who...
I'm not shaking the table.
That's somebody who...
The floor is shaking.
That's somebody who knows how to keep the show going.
Yes, fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
Improv. You're good at improving.
I'll improv. That's why I said we fall down, but we get up.
My sister's good with improv. If the monitor is messed up, she'll keep it going.
Yeah, keep on going.
Keep it flowing. Okay.
All right, y'all. So we diverse, again, a person who I told you I don't ever think about. I told you Kamala Harris is somebody who I
think on The View they talked about this today, and maybe the White House, and people are starting to think about some of the comments. Even that guy made at the White House, the Correspondents' Dinner. He made a comment about what is Kamala Harris doing. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
I think they sat there and thought about this.
So what is this?
What is she doing? We need to, the name of it is White House Seeks to Boost Vice President Harris's Image.
Oh, okay.
Nobody knows what she's doing.
So what are they going to talk about?
They had a mixed thing. Of course, Sonny gonna throw the black card out.
Okay.
As far as her being a vice president. They coming at her because she's black.
I don't know what Washington Post.
Okay, go ahead.
So go ahead.
Says the Biden team is trying to boost Vice President Harris's image, but I'm trying to figure out why do they think it needs boosting? What is that?
Well, I'll get right in there. So listen, the vice president, when she came on the ticket in 2020, I was thinking game over. She is a rock star. I'd seen her in Senate hearings, super effective, saw that prosecutor side of her come out. And listen, they won. She helped deliver female voters, black voters for the president. It's her time in office that I take a bit of issue with. And having worked for a vice president, you kind of have two jobs. Do no harm and try to keep a higher approval rating than your principal. she's not really been able to do either. And I feel like she hasn't broken through on major policy accomplishments. And she will, fairly or unfairly, be the most scrutinized vice president in history because she's running with the oldest the oldest president running for president.
And she's also a black woman.
But I think you have to be able to fairly critique the vice president of the United States without just saying
Why is Sunny always got to be the blackest person in the room?
Thank you. She didn't have to throw the black card. I'm tired of her doing that because you and I are black women, and we all feel like I don't like when today she got under my skin when she did that. And I like what Sarah said. Sarah was talking about, I wish whoever does the writing for her speeches for Kamala, she said there's sometimes she repeats things and she says it where you really need to get directly with the people. And she hasn't really got that yet in her speaking. And she gave examples. Well, of course, Sunny gonna come back and say that's the prosecutor in her. We were told as lawyers to talk in third party and whatever. And then Sarah said she's not talking in third party when she's talking to the people. She's talking to the people one-on-one. So Sunny, I get it. You don't like negative comments on Vice President Kamala Harris, and nobody's trying to be negative. We're doing constructive criticism. Love the woman, very intelligent, smart. But
I never said I love Kamala Harris.
She's cool. I don't like her, but the comedian hit the nail on the head. Even if you do come at her, she has to jump through hoops to stay relevant.
Yeah.
Pence didn't do nothing, but he was known.
She's a woman, number one.
Oh.
So you have to, like we always,
because she's black.
Yeah.
Because she's black. No, Sonny. We need to see more of her like all the other vice presidents. No, Sonny, it's not because she's black. That may play a part, but the guy
doesn't matter what it is. She needs to do better. She needs to do better. It doesn't matter.
Black card.
It doesn't matter whether she's black. It doesn't matter whether she's a woman. It doesn't. Any excuses that you give,
right?
You need to do better.
Yes,
that's the bottom line. Now that's the part where people like you guys are too conservative. That's the part where I'm like, yes, there's going to be things that's going to be put up against you.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to have to fight harder than maybe other people around you.
Woman,
or even as a man, as a black man, a Christian, whatever it is, right. A fat person, whatever it is,
whatever that obstacle is,
you have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and no,
that's it.
But the thing with her is she can do it. We just need to see her do more.
Exactly.
We need to see you out there in front with the plan, the only time, reminding us of the plan.
The only time you're going to see me step in is when somebody is doing everything they can and people are still criticizing racist or prejudiced and it's like, come on now. This person, an A+ student, graduated from Harvard University, top of the class, and you still got a problem. So that's where you have to be like, look, they can't do no more than what they've done.
And here's the thing that I kind of laugh at, I chuckle at. I'm part of a sorority. I get it. The one thing that Sunny said that she has done is brought more awareness to the Black Greek fraternity and sororities, especially Howard.
Is that something she's done or just because of who she is?
Because of who she is and who she's a part of. But I'm sitting there going, and that helps the country how?
Yeah.
It's good at it's bringing awareness. But what did you do at the border?
How is Barbara in rural Illinois care about Kamala Harris bringing more
gun law
information to HBCU?
Did you help with the Floyd thing? I mean, come on, Kamala, get beyond the Sonny. We need to go past the sorority thing.
So she's obviously
she's her soror.
Oh, okay. So
keep
she's
that
AKA.
in mind.
So obviously the White House agrees, or they wouldn't be trying to boost her image.
Thank you very much.
So obviously somebody in the White House says, yeah, you're right. We got to put her out there more.
Or what's his name? The comedian at the Correspondents' Dinner.
Right.
He was being funny, but that was truth to that.
Right.
I'm sorry. And yeah, he's right. Whatever she does do is going to go to the president.
Yeah.
But so far, that ain't even happening.
Right.
People are mad at Biden for not doing some things. So y'all two make it happen.
Yeah.
Come on now.
But yeah, I agree. I think that her image does need help. Like all the stuff that you said, her being intelligent, her being all of this other stuff, we need to see more of that. the White House needs to put her out there more because Biden, he doesn't have a high approval rating.
Right.
So people actually are thinking he won't last for 4 years. I don't think you should age people like that because people can die anytime. You can die when you're 22.
Yeah.
But some people voting actually are thinking he may not survive 4 years. She may end up being president. And I don't even know what she believes in.
Right. We just assume, what he stands for. She's repeating that.
I go back from when she ran for president. I remember all the stuff she said when she ran for president. Mm-hmm. I don't have to go by her being vice president. I remember when she ran for president.
Right.
So, and I didn't vote for her for president when she was running.
And then we have to be careful when we always throw the black race card.
Sonny.
Because we start sounding like the boy that cried wolf. We need to do it for very important issues.
Even if what Sonny is saying is true.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have to always say it.
Yes.
If you at your job and you feel like they wouldn't be doing this to me because if I wasn't black.
Thank you.
You don't have to walk around the water cooler all day saying they wouldn't do this if I wasn't black.
Right.
You know who did that recently? Summer Walker, who's a singer. She's an R&B singer. Mm-hmm. Young girl, darker skin complexion.
Okay.
And you know how they always say lighter skin complexion, which is true.
Yeah.
Get more play.
They more favor.
They more play, more beautiful. They say they're more beautiful and all this. Well, her fans were complaining because they said she has no showmanship when she's up there singing. She just sings in the mic, kind of dead.
Like Ray Parker Jr. That's how he was.
So she said,
it was awful.
She came on her live and said, well, what do y'all want me to do? Jump up and down. She was acting silly.
Okay.
And then she was like, am I supposed to move my butt and my hips and just jump around the stage?
Movement, right?
No, she was going overboard.
Okay.
She said, no, the reason why y'all come after me is because I'm dark skinned.
Ooh.
That's what she said. Okay. Y'all don't come after, and she named light skinned Sade,
artists like her,
Sade, and all of that.
Don't do a lot of movement.
But Sade does do movement, and Sade sings with passion. Okay. So I think that's what they were saying. It's not so much you jumping around the stage. Mm-hmm. Have some emotion, some feeling, some movement when you sing.
Okay.
So Tiana Taylor, who I like, the one that's the choreographer, she's working with her.
Good.
And they showed her. She went on her live. They went on live, and she showed her singing and the way she was holding the microphone and talking.
You're selling that
she's
song.
She's being a showman, a show person, and it had nothing to do with her being dark skinned.
Thank you.
So don't play that card all the time because there are things that
dark skin because she black.
But there are things she could actually say because she is dark skinned.
Yeah,
that wasn't one of them.
It wasn't worth it. Yeah,
and Kamala Harris isn't because she's black.
No, Sonny, leave it alone.
We don't know what she does.
And the ladies at the table now, Whoopi didn't say nothing
because Whoopi is agreed.
It's not no big deal. But if she's not doing her job and need to do more of it, it's not because she's black.
And it's not that she's not doing her job. We need to see it.
Exactly.
I told you Democrats play checkers. Mm-hmm. Republicans play chess. Democrats will say, well, Biden has done this and he's done this and he's done this. And then I go, why are you telling me that?
Why can't he say
Why is he not? Why am I not hearing that every time he gets on the microphone like comb over? He'll tell you, he'll even lie about stuff he don't even do.
Thank you. He does. I did this last
And one day I'll end the Ukraine war. And one day.
Fact checkers was like, he didn't do that. Now, like you're saying, if a chess move for Kamala would be videotaping.
Thank you, King.
Videotaping yourself where you at somewhere doing something. We need to see social media catching you.
Yeah.
Where's she going? She going to the border, y'all. She got plans. We going, okay.
Yeah.
Our vice president keeping it moving.
Yeah, something. So that's not our fault. That's not the American people's fault. That's not the press's fault. That's their fault.
Yeah.
Every time you get on the microphone, you need to be talking about what you're doing, what you've done, and how awesome you are. All right.
Okay.
Let's go back to what people saying. Wendy said, you went back to your Ella Fitzgerald. That's how scatting started from her forgetting the words.
Yes.
She says they said they didn't know what any vice president was doing except for Cheney. Well, everybody know what Cheney was doing.
I know.
Cheney was running the country.
Right.
And Bush was getting shoes thrown at him across the country. Mean Shay says this has happened to most VPs, no matter their color. We agree.
Thank you.
But she has to rise above that.
Right.
She says Winnie Cheney was the trifling exception.
He was an exception.
Yeah, he was.
Vice president.
Emerald says if Biden passes away while in office, we need to know that she can lead. Exactly.
That's the thing. I think you guys, yes, in spite of the history of vice presidents,
it doesn't matter.
There's three things with her. She's a minority. She's a black woman.
A woman.
That's one. Number two, her president is old.
He's old.
So people concerned with that.
Yes.
And I don't forget what number three is, but
well,
those two are it. That's
you
it.
You said black woman.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I know I had three of them in my head. You know, you go one, she's this, two, she's this. And number 16.
What was the number?
See, I forget. She got to have a good memory and remember everything.
No, she just has to do exceedingly above.
Yes.
We know that.
Yes. As a vice president with Biden as the president.
You can't rely on
so people are looking at that going, is she going to be okay when he dies or something?
You can't rely on what other vice presidents
exactly,
have done.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
be the best VP you can be.
Yeah. Real quick,
go ahead.
I don't want to go deep into this debt ceiling, but we have to talk about it because the country was going to shut down.
I know.
And apparently the Republicans and the Democrats reached a consensus, I guess.
Okay.
Whatever way you want to say it, an agreement.
Good.
It still has to be voted on, but it's supposed to be voted on now by the House today.
Okay.
Is that on the news or my mother and I watching the news now? That would be on CNN, I'm sure, and Fox News on whether it passed or not. Mm-hmm. But it says first Republican publicly supports ousting McCarthy as Speaker. Apparently these Republicans don't like the deal. Apparently Biden got the sweet end of the deal.
Oh, really?
I think if he did, I really think it's because remember they was laughing at him? Mm-hmm. Remember they showed the Republican lawmakers when Biden went out of the country, they were standing on the steps, I believe, of the Capitol. I don't remember. I think it was the Capitol. And they were laughing at saying pretty much that people was making jokes saying he gonna take whatever because he ain't got no choice. That word probably got back to old man Joe. And he said, oh, y'all laughing at me?
Okay. We're gonna make this happen. He did a chess move.
He finally did a chess move.
Thank you. Didn't play checkers. Checker move would have been whatever y'all want. Let's just do it.
Whatever y'all want. Yeah. I thought he was going to do that.
That's good.
I thought he was going to give the Republicans everything that they wanted. Apparently he didn't. It says top congressional Republican Kevin McCarthy on Tuesday urged members of his party to support a bipartisan deal to lift the $31.4 trillion U.S. debt ceiling. And a key party hard handler said he would likely support the measure in a critical procedural vote. The gatekeeper House of Representatives Rules Committee is due to vote later Tuesday on whether to advance the 99-page bill to vote by the full Republican-controlled House of Representatives. If the House passes it, it will be then proceed to the Democrat-controlled Senate. Both the Democrat President Joe Biden and the House Speaker McCarthy have predicted they will get enough votes to pass it. So they both feel like they got enough friends, I guess, to vote.
We'll see.
McCarthy called the bill the most conservative deal we've ever had.
Okay.
Not all of his caucus agrees, and he faces a direct challenge on Tuesday.
You're not going to make everybody
from
happy.
2 or 3 hardline Republicans whom he added to the 13-member Rules Committee on January as a condition of winning his speaker. Remember, he had to give him everything, including the kitchen sink, to get in. Remember, he had the 100 and vote before vote number 99.
And they probably want something in return now.
Thank you.
How dare you go that way, man?
Now, it says that it's likely would be approved, which would allow it to clear the committee within a Republican majority. I anticipating voting the rule. That's what they're saying, referring to the measure that the committee. Hardline Republican representatives Chip Roy and Ralph Norman earlier said they may vote against it if it is not changed to their liking. So you don't have to have everybody. You just have to have, I don't know if it's the majority, y'all let me know, or if it's the 60 thing.
Or that, like they have to reach over 50?
I don't know. So we have to find out, y'all.
So they still have hurdles.
They still have to vote.
Okay.
But he feels
at least the speaker
both
of the House is on the right path.
Both of them feel they have
a
the
chance
votes.
to get the votes.
They feel like they have the votes to get it.
And let's hope.
It says a successful vote there would set up a vote by the full House on Wednesday. So that's it. This agreement represents a compromise, which means no one gets everything that they want.
Yes.
And hard choices had to be made.
I don't like when a lot of these politicians feel like because they didn't get everything on their list, they say no to it. If you got 5 things on the table and you only get 2 of them, can you continue on? Do you got to get all 5?
Right.
Or 4?
Yeah. So it says the bill will suspend U.S. debt limit through January 1st, 2025, allowing Biden and lawmakers to set aside the political risky issue until after the November elections. I know right there the Republicans didn't want that. They did not want to push this limit after the election. They wanted to see Biden crumble under this. And they felt like McCarthy could have done it. This would have been the sting, the nail in the coffin. But they would have shut the government down.
Thank you. Trying to be so prideful.
But to get Biden out, that's what they was willing to do.
Because a Republican may make it in the next, after the office.
It would also cap some government spending over the next 2 years, speed up the permitting process for some energy projects, claw back unused COVID-19 funds, and introduce work requirements for food aid programs for some poor Americans. Now, that was the one that, remember, Biden, they were saying he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to put work restrictions on SNAP.
Right.
But he obviously gave in to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And another win for Republicans, it would shift some funding away from the internal revenue, although the White House says that should not undercut tax enforcement. Biden can point to gains as well. The deal leaves his signature infrastructure and green energy laws largely intact. And the spending cuts and work requirements are far less than the Republicans had sought. They actually wanted more cuts in SNAP and how that was happening. Okay. So they agreed to do some cuts, but not all the cuts.
Okay.
I do know, I'm not going to read all of this. It's more funding for the military. Okay. And they were saying that they was feeling like the military under Obama, he showed that they wasted a lot of money in the military. Oh. So sending more money to the military is not necessarily the answer until you get the people there that know how to handle the money. In my opinion, it should go to the soldiers and it should go to safety. Yeah. A lot of this stuff goes into salaries and bureaucracy. Yeah. So I will see.
And then we're sending a lot of money also to Ukraine. But the weapons and trucks and stuff for them.
Yeah, don't even get me started on Ukraine. So we'll see. But apparently that angered a lot of Republicans. And Representative Dan Bishop, a Republican from North Carolina, became the first Republican to publicly support ousting Kevin McCarthy over the debt ceiling deal. So they actually want to, on the side of this, vote him out.
The 13 that didn't get what they wanted.
One of the reasons why he became speaker is because he agreed that if they ever wanted to call a vote to get him out of there, they could.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's going to hurt him then.
At a House Freedom Caucus press conference Tuesday, members vented their frustration with the agreement and urged their colleagues to vote against it.
And then again, they may not. Some people they get upset sometime and they just start going a different direction. They're going to have to really be clear on why they want them out.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. And prove that.
Yep. All right. So we went to see Little Mermaid today. Okay. We went to see Little Mermaid. This will probably end up being our last story. Who knows how long we're going to talk about it.
We shouldn't talk too long. Because we don't want to talk too much about it. Well, like you're saying, because people haven't. I don't know if any of you guys are going to see it or seen it already.
Right.
There were some differences with the storyline, though.
Let me read y'all things before we move on. Wendy says, I can't take any of this political nonsense seriously. It's a big freaking joke. Emerald says, I feel that if the government shuts down, they shouldn't get paid until they get things running again. I agree. And they should also take their salaries for the rest of the year. Wendy says, what about Social Security benefits? They're not touching Social Security.
Right.
Okay, so The Little Mermaid.
One thing I can say for
spoiler alert
with The Little Mermaid is if you've seen it or will go see it, you think of Bridgerton.
Spoiler alert. If you are the type of person that you don't want somebody to talk about a movie that you're gonna go see, spoiler alert.
Because I thought of Bridgerton.
We're going to talk about it.
There and I went, okay.
And remember, before I saw it, did I not say Bridgerton? I said, if you watch Bridgerton, don't complain about The Little Mermaid.
Thank you.
Okay.
Her being black.
The article that I looked at says there's something fishy about The Little Mermaid audience review scores. It's funny how the audience review it very high, but the critics are giving it low reviews.
Why?
Because she's black. Now I'm doing a Sunny because she's black.
That's the black card.
Now I'm playing the black card.
Because the critics are saying it.
If the people going to see it are saying it's a good movie,
yes,
but all the critics are saying it's not a good movie, something's wrong there.
You know, the only I was sitting there watching the movie. The only thing that came in my face where it was clear that the person was black, not to say I don't see that she is black, because I know she is, was the mother of the guy.
Okay, let's go back. First of all,
that was my surprise. Like,
this is not the original Little Mermaid.
I thought of Bridgerton.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
This is not the original Little Mermaid.
Okay.
So when people compare it to the original Little Mermaid, that's not what this is. There were some
differences on things.
This one takes place in the Caribbean.
Okay.
What color do you think she would be if she's in the Caribbean?
Oh, man. She could be brown skin. She could be caramel. She can be coffee color. All of the shades of the browns.
Letitia Jackson says, when I say it's not a good movie, it makes everybody go see it. Oh, you think they playing like they want people to go see it?
Oh, that's a good point.
That's a good point.
Like,
let's say, oh, it's horrible.
Oh, it's awful.
And then they go see it. That's not bad.
His West Indian accent was awful.
That's not bad. He was good. Okay.
The guy that she was playing with, he could have sang a little better.
So, spoiler alert. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go back to an old video we did.
Okay.
I did dog out the prince. Remember I said he seemed stale.
You sure
I said in the previews he seemed stale.
Yeah.
I thought he did a good job.
He did a good job. He really did. I didn't think it would be no chemistry. Like
there
that
was chemistry.
Eddie Murphy show that he got out with that white guy and that black girl. Nah.
There was chemistry.
This was chemistry.
And Halle Bailey was awesome.
She did. She has a beautiful voice.
But she can act.
She took them notes to the...
She can act.
Because her and her sister can sing really well.
And a lot of it, she couldn't talk.
But you know what? I know.
So she had to act with her face.
But you know, the thing that I hate about the critics or anyone else that's agreeing with this, my sister and I were talking earlier. Think about kids.
Kids will love it.
When a parent has an issue with a person's color playing in a major...
How are you going to...
explain that to your child that they can't go see the movie?
You don't like the movie because The Little Mermaid is now black.
Okay.
Your daughter or son or whoever wants to go see The Little Mermaid.
Mommy, my friends have gone.
Everybody in the class is going to see it because it's one of the number one movies, if not the highest rated movie of this weekend. How are you going to explain to your daughter or your son or whoever that they can't go see The Little Mermaid?
They got a problem with The Little Mermaid.
I want to be a fly on the wall when you had that conversation with that kid. You sound like a moron.
Yes.
Well, honey, we're not going to go see it because
it's not realistic.
Ariel is
She's
black.
Not a black
and
mermaid.
in the cartoon that you watched, Ariel was white.
You know
what your child is going to say to you? What does that matter?
Doesn't do anything.
Because children don't care.
Thank you. Oh my God. When we were talking about when your child is born in this world, where do they get racist thoughts, prejudices? They learn that. And a lot of times they learn it from their parents, their family, people around them as they grow. Because you see two little 3-year-olds playing. They not going to, I don't want to play with him because he black.
King says, I have 4 daughters and they loved it. And Letitia said they don't give a, you know what, this is how they start to grow children to not look black or like black. They start them off early, young like that.
Yes.
But can you imagine being a fly on the wall that you have to tell your child, or black people,
the black people too,
who don't like the movie because why can't? Oh, we all over the place. Okay, hold on for a second.
Slow down.
Okay,
take your time.
All right, take the time. Okay. I gotta be like I'm in church for a second.
Back up.
Okay. All right, everybody relax and calm down. Black people who don't want to go see it because they said we needed to have an original. Why does it have to be a copycat? Well, black people, one of the previews is a original black person.
She got braids and everything.
She got braids.
It was a preview of it. Another Disney.
A new one that's coming.
Wish.
It's called Wish.
I said, that girl black. She got braids.
And she's black. And she's the lead princess or whatever.
Character of the show. Okay. That's
coming. So that's for all the ones that, why we got to have a copycat. Why can't Disney put money into us having our own? Mm-hmm. Well, that's your own.
There you go.
So there you go. But anyway.
The Little Mermaid.
This Little Mermaid is not the same. It's similar. It's not the same story.
Okay.
It takes place in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, the 7 seas. She has sisters from all the seas, and they're all races. There was Asians, there was Indians, there was
Africa,
Latina,
all in the seas.
Africa,
how they all
with an afro
covered. That she didn't have an afro.
Yes, she did.
Which one had an afro?
Yes, she did.
Because she was in the water,
so I couldn't tell. And her hair was an afro,
so the water made it float.
She had an Angela Davis afro. Now when she came up out the water, it was flat.
No, that's what I'm saying. I missed the afro.
But it was an afro.
Okay, she represented that area of the country.
And the one that was
Indian,
she had the little jewel in her thing.
Beautiful.
And she had a little thing across. And the Asian one had a little, they all represented
the world. They had blonde. They had a Latino looking. That was what this movie was about. Diversity and ethnicity.
Which makes sense.
Embrace it.
Because she's a mermaid and she's trying to hook up with a human.
Yeah, she wants to be human.
So you have to talk about being inclusive. Yeah. How can you have a movie about a mermaid trying to hook up with a human and not talk about not judging people from the outside?
That was one of the things that the mother of the young prince, was saying. Everybody was fearful of each other's world.
The underworld was fearful of humans, which they should be.
Yeah, because we get crazy.
And humans was afraid of the underworld, which they should be.
So lack of knowledge and understanding, it shows me even how we are in this world. Ignorance. Afraid, fear.
Or because, spoiler alert.
What?
A human killed her mom.
Yes.
Her dad, he didn't like any
humans.
How often do we hear that? Somebody black robbed you. Now all black people are horrible. Or some white man cut you off. Now all white people are horrible.
Or all white people are racist. No. You judge the whole group of people because of one action of one or two or whatever.
Yeah.
So I love that meaning, that whole what was taught in the movie.
I like that.
And her voice was beautiful.
Her voice is beautiful.
Yes.
I liked
he sang pretty well too.
He did good. He did good. He did well. Now, well, let's not jump ahead.
Okay.
Again, setting up the story. Sebastian.
Yeah.
People kept talking negative about the crab.
They didn't like his accent. They said it was not a true West Indian accent.
It didn't matter. He was funny.
He said, I did a mixture of Barbados and Trinidad or whatever. So he was trying to get it.
And he was funny. It didn't matter.
And I keep forgetting, she told me he was the dude that was on Blackish. I forgot that was Rainbow's brother.
And where did it?
Him. I forgot.
Where did it say he was Jamaican? It just said Caribbean. It never said where they are.
It didn't say what island. No.
So he could be a mixture of all of them.
But he said they had to be careful with that because, if you're from the islands, you guys, there's a distinction. Jamaican, Trinidad, all of the islands, there's different dialects. And he wanted to do a little mixture of whatever to make a character that's still that represents all of the Caribbean.
Oh, Letitia said, okay, why a witch? Or is it a witch who are knowledgeable about earth and how to heal people? Let me tell you why a witch, Letitia. When have you seen a Disney movie where they don't have a witch?
Every Disney has a witch.
I mean, come on. And always got to have a sorcerer or a witch, which is why some Christians don't go to Disney or anything.
And that's
they don't like
that's
any of that.
You, because I know my power lies.
That's your own personal. And I don't care. I don't mind if you don't want your kid to see witchcraft or like Harry Potter, right, or any Disney stuff. That's your prerogative.
I remember at my job, and I may have mentioned this before. There was a gentleman, and he was an IT person. And we would talk to him because we got to know him and have lunch with him, whatever. He said he was a warlock. And he said he was a good one. Mm-hmm. And we were all talking about good witches, bad witches. And I thought of the Wiz.
Okay.
Glenda, the good witch.
Right.
And what's her name? Her sister, the good witch. And then was two bad witches. And I'm thinking, wow, what's a good witch?
Right.
You don't cast spells on people?
Well, what Letitia said, earthy. Kind of they do the earth and the rocks.
This one wasn't a good witch.
Oh, she was horrible. I love her. I love McCarthy.
Well, I know because I'm a Mike and Molly person.
But
you know what?
Love her.
She wasn't actually a witch. She was an octopus.
She was an octopus. But she had witchcraft power. But I love her.
Her. She's a good actress.
I love her in comedy, and I hated her here. I couldn't stand her.
That was what she wanted you to.
I know. I'm saying I love her.
She did her part.
I love her, but I couldn't stand her.
If you are an actor or actress who has made people their emotions
she was horrible,
then you're a good actor. You are good.
There was nothing good about her. Yes, nothing.
Yes.
I couldn't stand her.
She was good though. I didn't like it when we can't. I don't want to do too many spoilers.
Thank you. Don't say too many. Okay. Couldn't stand her.
Okay. But it was
horrible person. Horrible.
One of the negative comments they made about the animation and all that looked kind of fake. The only time I felt where it got a little bit kind of
when
fake,
they was doing Under the Sea.
When they did Under the Sea, they had every fish and every coral dancing.
Well, how can you not be?
That is so pretty.
How can you not be fake if a coral or a slug is dancing? You gotta be.
The turtles was doing a line dance.
I loved it.
Take your kids there. You go there.
And I hated her children. Her, McCarthy.
Oh, those two things that got
them eels.
In fact, the ugly fishes was all hers.
And the contrast,
and the whales.
The shark was horrible. The contrast between Halle Bailey, so sweet.
She has a. Here's the thing I don't like when people are making comments about her being a black mermaid. She has a Disney look.
How can you hate her?
That's a you guys gotta admit it. She has a unique look. When you look at her face, you're like, oh, she's cute.
And you want her to win.
A soft look about her.
I told you want Chloe and Halle to win. On anything they're in. I don't know if she could play a bad part.
I don't think so. She's gonna be in Color Purple,
but she's still good in that.
I know she's gonna be in Color Purple.
If she played a bad part,
I can't wait.
If she played a bad part where she was mean or whatever, I think I would still root for her.
And some people are even criticizing the Color Purple movie.
I know. We'll talk about that another day, which is not the same story. But anyway, I felt like the contrast between her and Ursula and Ursula's people was wonderful because it made Ursula look even worse.
Who in this played the bird?
The Aquafina, the Asian girl.
Really?
She was funny.
Her sidekicks
was funny.
The crab, what's his name? The bird and
Sebastian
the little fish.
Was funny. The I should know the names. I don't know the names. And the bird was funny. They Flounder. They all were great.
Sidekicks. They were funny. Catch the lines that they say. Because you will laugh. And I got a little teary-eye almost at the end.
I cried at the end.
I got teary-eye, y'all. Because I not only saw the combining of the worlds and the support that she had. Because she wanted to be human.
Really wanted to be human.
And her mermaids, they all supported her. And they started blending in with his family.
And her father was like, I didn't hear you. Parents, y'all, that's a good lesson for y'all.
Yeah.
Your kids are saying something.
They crying out what they like.
But you're only hearing what you want.
Well,
and he said, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
And he didn't hear her also because of the fear. Those people killed your mom.
And I didn't want my
I don't want you near. And she had to speak up and say, Dad, he helped me. and that human reached out to help me because she went through some trouble.
But that here, and it showed his mom. Now let's talk about that. Bridgerton. His mom is black.
She a black woman.
And a queen.
I said, who?
I was like, this is Bridgerton?
Because I'm like, where did they throw
that? They found him.
They found him. And they referred to him as the prince.
She raised him. That was not her birth son. She raised him. He was the only white one.
A black woman.
A black woman with a black maid and a black house and a black, whatever he is. Mm-hmm. What is that guy? He's not black.
He wasn't black, no.
He's something. He's not white.
No, he was British. The guy that was with him.
No, the black guy right here. Not black. Indian or something.
Oh, no, but the
guy. The prime minister or something.
But I thought the guy that was with him, he was like British, like
he's
European.
British, but he's not. He wasn't white.
Oh, well.
He's something. Okay. Wonderful.
Very diverse cast.
Very diverse cast. Mm-hmm. And I just knew. Didn't you think whenever she found out it was Hallie, she was gonna be okay because she's black? That was wrong of me to say that.
No,
I was like,
no.
If he bring her home
because
she's black.
The fear was still.
I know.
I don't want them fish.
It didn't matter. She was a fish.
They was from the waters and they are dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. So I thought that was wonderful.
Okay, so you get a lot of learning in this. You learn about being together regardless of your
another lesson.
What?
Because she didn't have her voice, he was chasing after the voice. And the man said, don't chase after what could be, go with what's here.
What is here.
In other words, a lot of times people look for something in a mate. Mm-hmm. This is a good lesson for your kids. They have a list. They start creating it early in life. And a lot of times your soulmate is right in front of you, but you don't see them because you're chasing that list.
Are you talking about Ebony, what's her name?
Oh, the bus driver, taking us back to the bus driver.
I don't date bus drivers.
Unless he owns the bus. Which I might add, Tina Turner married her chauffeur.
And how many women at her caliber would do that? Who marries their chauffeur?
And he said he was afraid to talk to her. He picked her up one night.
Tina Turner.
And she went out with him and fell in love with the man.
Loved his personality. That man gave her a kidney, didn't
he? She did, yes.
Yes, he did.
She didn't ask him if he owned the car and the company.
Oh, he drives her around. That's like that Tyler Perry movie with Idris.
You always say that every time.
Because I
say the same stories.
With Gabrielle Union being so uppity at first, but she had to realize that's a good man. Go ahead.
Letitia said they look for meat and the meat is right in front of you. Right in front of your eyes. Uh-huh. So that was a good learning lesson, guys. We gave some spoilers out there.
And if you guys have an issue...
We kept some stuff. We didn't say everything that happened in the movie.
My sister said earlier, watching us, if you guys have an issue with the witchcraft in it, I suggest don't watch it.
Well, that's anything Disney.
Look, they probably don't do any. You said consistency. Be consistent. If you don't like it, you probably don't go to Lord of the Ring movies and those kind of mysticals where the ladies do this.
So my opinion... Just like everybody else who's gone to see it, regardless of what the critics said, it was a good movie and it's worth seeing.
Yeah, go ahead.
And definitely take your kids to see it.
Yeah.
Definitely if you have ethnic kids to go see it. You know what? No. White kids should see it too.
Every kid should
see it.
Yeah.
Every kid should see it. Okay. Oh, when we was in line going in, it was a little white girl and she was looking at my hair. And I said, I have Ariel hair. And she said, yeah, I've never been so proud to walk out of a movie theater with locks. Okay. All the little kids were looking at me.
Ariel's hair wasn't as long as yours.
No, but they was all looking at my hair.
And think if your hair was a color,
like if it was red or gold or and blonde. McCarthy called her Red.
Yeah, hey, Red.
Red.
Come here.
Red. But I loved it.
They casted McCarthy in the right scene.
And they cast Callie Bailey and they cast Sebastian and they cast Flounder.
All of them.
And the father.
Yeah.
All of them was perfect.
I enjoyed this movie.
Perfect casting.
Really did.
Perfect.
So critics, come on. Hit us with your best.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right, let's see what everybody says. Emerald says, Wendy says, I don't like Bridgerton, but I love Charlotte. Emerald says it always comes back to Bridgerton. Laugh out loud. You know, you and her like Bridgerton.
That's a Shonda Rhimes. Is it Rhimes, right?
Rhymes, yeah.
She does ethnic mixtures.
Yeah. This seemed like a movie she would have written.
Yeah.
Wendy says 5th highest rated opening film ever. Wow.
You. Critics.
Emerald says they tried to make it inclusive. Wendy says 250 million to produce, has so far brought 68 million internationally, bringing it worldwide gross 185 million in one day. So they're going to get that 250 million back easy. M. Perk says, Mike says, hi ladies, hi everyone.
Hey, Mike.
Any prize for being last to join? Nope, Mike.
Last to join.
But Mike, hit the like button. Mike usually tells people to hit the like button.
Like we said, the first to join.
Mike says the fact that someone is upset about the color of the mermaid should understand why that representation is important. Exactly.
Thank you.
Emerald says everyone taking their children want their child to see some kind of representation. And everybody was represented.
It makes me question your heart when you are pointing at her color.
Well, how you going to explain that to your kid? God. Wendy says mermaids originate in Africa thousands of years ago, meant to honor the sacred nature of water. Among those revered is a water goddess known as Mami Wata. Okay. Cosmology.
Did your history.
Emerald says adults need to allow children to have love for wonder and that anything is possible. Well, again, if you have not seen this movie, you should go see this movie. King says, what's the Afri Woodard movie back in the 90s? I don't know. Somebody look that up, y'all. Afri Woodard back in the 90s. Does that
have something to do
with
She
might have played a queen or something.
Oh,
I don't know. Because I could see Afri Woodard playing a queen.
I'm thinking the last movie I saw her in was the Tyler Perry one, wasn't it?
No, he said the 90s.
I know. I'm just saying. I can't remember.
All right. So we passed our time. We always try to do an hour. So let's go right to we'll do these other stories tomorrow.
Okay.
Donkey of the day. Charlemagne the God. You always want to know who Charlemagne the God gives Donkey of the Day to.
Yes.
Today he gave it to South Carolina board that voted on this Juneteenth celebration.
Okay.
South Carolina town removes Juneteenth banner displaying white couple. Apparently, they put up a banner to celebrate Juneteenth, and the visual was a white couple.
So the white couple was probably slave owners, right? Were they trying to say the white couple, no more slaves? We don't have any more slaves. You're free now. What would be the reason to
Organizers of Juneteenth event in the town of Greenville, South Carolina are under fire for hanging a banner for the event that displays a white couple. According to NBC's affiliate, WYFF4, the banners displaying a white couple and others with Hispanic people were removed and replaced amid outrage, citing misrepresentation and poor marketing. The guy who founded this thing, Ruben Mays, said the organization's goal was to represent multiple ethnicities. So he's trying to do what we was just talking about.
Not in this case.
Not in this. See, there you go. There's a time to be inclusive.
Yes.
And there's a time, if I'm showing Schindler's List, and I'm doing a special showing of Schindler's List.
Oh gosh.
I don't think that would be the time to show maybe Asian people on the poster.
Thank you.
And say, we're having a showing of Schindler's List.
No, an Asian group, a black person.
No Jewish person on there.
Thank you. Or you're safer depending on, you got to think of your audience.
No, they probably did have a black person.
Don't do no pictures at all sometimes.
But they probably did have a black person.
Okay.
But they wanted to have a multicolor banner.
Yes.
I understand. I'm not going to hate them because they trying to be inclusive.
Juneteenth.
But not Juneteenth. The purpose of Juneteenth. We didn't even know we was free as slaves. And you got a white couple on the banner.
What would people think when our fathers used to own slaves, and we was told too late that we don't do that anymore. What would be the reason for a white face to be on a Juneteenth poster?
If it was a Martin Luther King celebration, yes.
Because you're celebrating
Martin
all
Luther
cultures.
King. You want to do a banner. We having an MLK event, and you want to show all races smiling.
You told me that too, because we have a marketing company. So Kim always.
But Juneteenth is about slavery.
She said,
"Why would you put a white person on a banner?" Though we're celebrating our independence because we didn't know we was free.
But you know what? This reminds me of a story. I always go back to my old job. My old job was with advertising, and one of the products was gift cards. And they wanted gift cards to kind of show different ethnic groups, different countries. I should say that. Spain, Africa. One of the African cards, because I had one of the designers come back and tell me, she said she had to fight for them to not put this image on our gift card. Because gift cards can come in like the dog series, whatever. She was going to put a monkey on the gift card. And she said, if you put a monkey or a gorilla on an African gift card, you will be fired.
Let's just say this. I always try to give
they use the pyramid, I think.
I try to give this public service announcement.
A gorilla?
I try to give this public service announcement to white people.
Okay.
You honestly may not think I'm thinking funny, monkey.
It represents Africa.
But black people were called monkeys.
Thank you.
So why would you put a monkey on an African American
to show Africa? It's just
like this one school, during African American History Month, they had the food.
Oh yeah,
and they had fried chicken, watermelon, Kool-Aid. Maybe you would have gotten away with one.
Fried chicken.
Yeah.
That's
maybe
America.
Some fried chicken with some mashed potatoes and some green beans.
Yeah. Biscuits and gravy, maybe.
Or Salisbury steak with a slice of watermelon.
Okay.
Maybe.
I don't know. That watermelon is kind of scary.
Or macaroni and cheese and a glass of Kool-Aid.
You might as well do watermelon, but shitterlings.
But you're not gonna get away with fried chicken, Kool-Aid,
and watermelon. Celebrating what? Black
History Month.
Okay. And you white kids holding it up too? Or was it just all of the kids?
Now, they gave the example of how is that different when we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month and we have tacos or burritos,
Spanish rice.
Okay. Because they actually eat burritos.
And some of it's
or
not,
whatever.
And
Spanish
some of
food.
it is not even Americanized. There's been
tacos is Americanized.
It's funny because I've talked to we've done travels and our friends have done travel and they've gone to other countries and they said we asked for certain things that's over in our country and they look at you like, don't nobody do creme ragout in China. They was asking for creme ragout. And some of my Asian friends was like, Lenore, in America, a lot of times they come up with dishes that appease to Americans.
We don't have creme ragout.
We don't have that in our country. I just kind of went, ooh, Lord. Are we offending you when we ask for that? See? So just kind of know your audience.
To me, public service announcement.
Yeah.
Just stay away from it.
Yeah.
If you're doing Hispanic Heritage Month, have a specific dish like enchiladas or something and say this represents this place, or we have in Puerto Rican rice, or
dish
I know it's called something
countries.
else. We have these or whatever. Then you have Spanish rice or whatever.
Yeah.
But where does chicken? That's a stereotype.
Watermelon and Kool-Aid, and it probably was red Kool-Aid or
probably
grape. In a jar. Okay.
So that's the donkey of the day.
Yeah, they're a donkey. So they removed it, right?
You just heard me say they removed it immediately.
The photos. Okay.
Immediately. They took the banner down immediately.
Who thought about that when they first put that out there? Oh my goodness. Okay. Got it.
They said they didn't have any harm intended. It was they just wanted to show mistake. They wanted to show
diversity. Yeah, I get it.
But not for something that's talking about slavery.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put a white person near that.
No.
And like you said, I wouldn't even hardly put black people. Just no picture.
No photos. There's times
because if you put sometimes if you put people, even the black people, if they light skinned, why y'all put light skinned black people?
Oh my God. You're gonna get criticized for a lot of
things. And then if it's dark skinned black people, why you put dark skinned black people?
They gotta be real.
There was light skinned black people back in slavery.
They was free too.
Or if it's a black woman and she has not a natural hairstyle. Why she got a perm?
Right. They didn't have perms back then.
Or if she has her natural hair, why she gotta have nappy hair? Because you're talking about Juneteenth.
So, I mean, back when we were saying about the Little Mermaid and what's her name's daughter, Beyonce's daughter, yeah, there are going to be people out there that's going to be still critical.
King says, call me a gorilla and I'm going to give you a thumbs up and wish you a mutant test me. And King says, okay, I know what that is. Oh, he must be talking about something we was talking about.
Yeah.
But anyway, y'all, so that was it.
Okay, that was a donkey.
That was the donkey of the day.
Okay.
You wanted to know.
I want to know.
Charlemagne the God's donkey of the day. Save these to talk about tomorrow. We're supposed to talk about T.I. and Tiny. There's a new law passed about
the crown law.
You're wearing your cornrows, your locks and stuff. Flo Rida, they didn't finally caught up with him for child support.
Oh Lord.
And singer Danny Lee, she got caught with a DUI and ran this person over, dragged him for a block.
Oh my gosh.
What's this one? Did we talk about? Oh, we didn't talk about this one. Dang, we missed a lot of stories, didn't we?
Yeah.
The South Carolina gas station man who shot a 14-year-old boy.
And we're going to probably do an update on the 11-year-old that got shot.
You just say it real quick. We'll have to do an update. My mother said she saw on the news when he got shot, he was running out the house and he was singing what? Ma. Oh, no weapon formed against me.
No weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work.
Okay. Yeah. So they said on the news when he got shot, when that officer shot him, he came out the house singing that song. No weapon formed against me.
Aww.
See how he's probably heard his parents or somebody singing that. Y'all better instill that word in these kids.
Just like that little boy that got
they kidnapped him.
And
he was in the back of the car and he was singing
every praise is to our God.
And he kept singing it.
Every word.
And the kidnappers got mad.
Like, will you stop singing?
And they threw him out of the car. Stop singing that stupid song.
He just kept singing
every praise,
in the back.
Every praise is to our God.
Oh, Jesus.
Can you imagine him pulling over to the side of the road,
and putting that boy
opening
out.
up the trunk and throwing him out?
Get out.
Get out of here. Sing hallelujah to our God. Glory, hallelujah is to our God.
Oh,
and then this guy, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. Now, let that get back to Fred Hammond.
Oh,
he needs to call that boy, and he needs to sing. Fred needs to bring him on stage.
You know what? And dance like Beyonce's daughter. They're going to have to wait till he's healed, though, right? He's still in the hospital.
No, he's out, I think.
Is he? It wasn't a bad that he sang that
bad,
song.
But no weapon formed against
that
me.
bullet was supposed to probably take his life.
Yes.
Ooh, thank you, Lord.
Let me go back before we leave off what y'all saying.
Okay.
Dang, y'all was talking a lot. Wendy says, Holiday Heart, Alfie Woodard with Ving Rhymes. Wendy says,
I think I remember
together for 10 years,
married. Holiday Heart.
Married for 27 years to her husband, Erwin. What does her husband do for a living? Turner and Bach, German music executive, were together for 27 years before they call a baby a monkey. No, Wendy saying, my friend lives in China. They eat nothing in American restaurants. M. Perk says, I agree. It is hard to get that message across, but at least he tried. He cannot be a black person holiday. Juneteenth needs to be celebrated, but that's what I think they was trying to do. And be inclusive, like everybody celebrates Juneteenth.
But to visually show it on a poster.
Emerald says, see, as black parents, we have to prepare our children for the real world and how to behave in front of the police. Yep. And let me see. Y'all saying stuff on TikTok, but it's going by too fast, y'all. King says, and then a white boy shot him. Okay, so all right, y'all.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So don't forget, we got a book, 100
jokes.
Family friendly jokes. The link is in the description. Mm-hmm. Don't forget to join any of our on our platforms so you can get behind this scene privilege and whatever.
Okay.
You can tell I'm tired of talking.
You know
Lord Jesus.
It'd be nice to press the button and do the commercial.
Oh Lord. You right. I push a button. We already did a commercial. And it'll come on. Mm-hmm. We'll get better.
Okay.
All right. Don't forget to like, share subscribe. Mm-hmm. Always believe. Wendy says, check your text messages and mail. Okay.
Wendy.
Always believe. And that was another Woods Report.
Go see Lion King.
I
mean,
Little Mermaid. Big dummy.
You sound like Fred Sanford. Big dummy.
Go see Lion King.
I mean, the Little Mermaid.
And the fact is, we closed the show out and you decided to throw that in. And it was wrong.
Go see Lion King too.
Jesus. Go see Little Mermaid.
Oh my goodness.
All right. And that was another Woods Report. See, stupid girl. All right. See you later.